Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with another Wargaming in Miniature video. We're going to continue on with our our Beyond the Gates of Antares project. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be assembling my strike squads, my spotter drones, and my support drones. And I've come to the conclusion that when I go to paint these, I'm going to paint them in this basic general theme. But instead of like everybody having green, I'm going to alternate different unit colors. Like a squad might be green, a squad might be yellow, a squad might be red, blue, whatever. That way I can identify my squads. Instead of having an army color, I'm going to have like a squad based color. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have an army color. I don't know. But I think I want to go with maybe shades of green or maybe shades. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out. But tonight what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and assemble these out. I'm only going to show the assembly of one sprue on camera because the rest, and then I'll do the rest later. Alright guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm just snipping out the legs using my snippers. And once I get all those out, we'll be right back. Alright, now you can see that I got all the legs snipped out. Now we're going to go ahead and do the torsos, then I'm going to do the arms, and basically I'm going to snip all the pieces out separately and stack them. And then once we get all the pieces snipped out and stacked, then I'll be right back. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and snip some bases off. There's 5 bases for the troops. And I got the one large base here for the combat drone. And then I actually brought a couple of washers over for the spotter drones because they're going to be elevated up on their flight stands. I didn't want them to be top heavy, so I decided to put them on metal fender washers. And luckily they give you way more bases than you need in the pack. They give you 15 bases and you really only need 5, about 7 per squad, and there's 2 squads, so about 14. So they give you like 1 extra. Okay. Now I need 3 flight stands, and I think they give you close to 5. I'm going to pour them all out because I'm just curious to which ones I've got. I'm going to put one of the spotter drones on the really tall base because I'm not worried about I'm not worried about the top heaviness of it. And then I'm going to put another spotter drone on a very low base just to give it like 2 different dimensions because it'll be with the troops and this will be like spotting. And then the combat drone I'm going to put on the middle one. Okay, that's going to go there. Okay, so everything is snipped out, ready to go. So now what I need to do is take my X-Acto knife and go over all these pieces and get rid of all the little flash and the burrs. And that's going to be on all the figures. And that might take me just a few minutes because I have to do one figure at a time. And I have to kind of visually inspect the entire model. Like as an example, let's go ahead and look at this drone here. It's got a burr in the front, and I kind of want to smooth that out, make it look like the rest of the area around it. So when I paint it, that burr will disappear. Then I have to look over the entire model for flash lines that I have to get rid of. Which these are actually well disguised as part of the plating of this drone. But like I said, I'm going to have to go through each and every model like this. So once I get everything done, I'll be right back. Alright, so I got everything trimmed. Now I got my DAP Rapid Fuse out. We're going to go ahead and start assembling these bad boys. I'm not exactly sure where I want to get started, but I think what I want to start with is putting the legs on the bases. I want to put them in their standing positions. And then I would be able to work around that. Luckily, Rapid Fuse only takes about 15 seconds to grip, and then about 30 seconds to cure. That's why it's called Rapid Fuse. Yeah, it's the short stubby one. Let's put some glue on. All right, that's one arm of the drone. Now the other arm looks like it is like a camera or sighting lenses or something like that. It's optics of some kind. It's a little teardrop peg, and there's like a teardrop hole, so it can only go on one way. Okay, that looks good. Now I need to take the front and the back of these torsos and I need to glue them together. So here we go, let's do that. Okay, those go together pretty good. Pretty straightforward how they go together. Let me glue all 5 of these together and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got the torsos put together, and now what I want to do is just mount the flight stands onto their respective bases. I suspect by putting super glue under the clear plastic it's going to turn it white, but if not, that's okay. Now, because these have holes, I'm going to put the glue around the outer edge of my flight base. And again, it doesn't have to be super thick because those drones are super light. Okay, while I'm thinking of it, all right, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put a little piece of tape underneath the base so that the glue doesn't stick to anything it's not supposed to stick to. There you go. Plus, I'll even put it on the wax paper just in case. And then we take the glue and we just put it around the outer edge. And I don't really need a whole lot. All right, so we'll let those dry. All right, let's go to the drone. A large drone. Yeah, it looks pretty self-explanatory. There's a little notch on the back of the drone. There's a little tube on the back of this piece. Slides right in there. I'm sure the front lines up, sides line up. Right, and then these arms, there's a little notch there. I'm sure that they just glue in on there like that. So let's go ahead and at least glue the top to the bottom. Okay. Super easy. The back thrusters line up right there. I don't think that's the front. Actually, I think maybe this is the front. Those are like additional optics or something. And then this part here is just a back. So it looks like there's like a little gap. That's cool, cool, cool. Okay, so we're going to let that dry just a minute. So now we're going to put these torsos onto the legs. Let's see how these ride. Okay, well it just fits pretty straightforward. There's like a belly plate, and then there's like a gap right there where the belt would go, that belly plate would sit on. Yeah, pretty much just sits pretty flat on there. Like that. get these torsos glued on and I'll be right back. Alright, now we're going back to the combat drone. I'm going to glue the weapons, well, the arms, I should say, because one doesn't look like a weapon. Got a plasma cannon off to the side. And then it looks like maybe targeting or something on this side. That actually looks pretty good. And then this drone should fit right on this peg, just like that. Ooh, it spins. Yeah, it's heavy on this side. So what I think I'm going to need to do is glue it, but then I'm going to have to kind of level it out. Okay, so it's tilting, but I'm going to level it out so that it'll dry level. Count to 15. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the spotter drones glue them in place. These guys only need heads and arms, and with their weapons. All right. This guy here looks like he could be the leader. We're going to take one arm and it shows in the picture with his arm almost pointing straight down. I don't know if that is cool or not, you know. So I'm going to have him holding his gun not exactly straight down, but pretty low. And then he's going to have his other arm, his left arm is going to be giving commands. I decided to do helmets on these guys, and I'm going to use the guy with his open visor on that one. Okay, one of the guys is carrying the plasma lance. I'm going to give it to this guy. It looks like he's got more of a steady footing. But before I do that, I want to glue the other arm on. So we're going to glue the grip arm. Glue that arm on first. Let it dry a little bit before we move on to the arm with the weapon, because the hand is actually on the grip right there. And I'm going to match up the hand grip with this wrist. Like that. Okay. Gonna let that dry for just a minute. Now the rest of these guys are just your standard good old plasma carbines. But you always want to put that left arm on first. Okay, so it looks like I got all the left arms on. Hopefully they're in a good position to pair up with the weapon arms. Apply a little drop of glue in the shoulder socket and on the wrist. So that when you put it in the socket, you can line up the wrist and the hand. So it'll be sealed in on two spots. Okay, so all the carbines are done. Now I just got to put the heads on, and this group will be done. Okay, I'm going to start with the leader because he's got a unique head. All right, we got them all put together. So now what I'd like to do is do like a little close-up so you can see them. So let me adjust the focus and we'll go ahead and get some close-ups on these guys. All right, let's start with the leader here. See how he, let's get a close-up. There we go. Yeah, once I get these guys primed and once that glue dries, you won't have that little shine where the glue is at. Alright, let's show you every one of these guys. And then the spotter drones. I think that's the front of the drone. I think that tail, that axis, like the tail of the drone. Okay. And this is one on a tall stand. Same drone, just on a tall stand. And then the light support drone, or whatever they call it. And I put it together with the plasma light, plasma cannon or rifle or whatever that is. All right. So let me go ahead and put the others together. We'll prime them, we'll paint them on another video. All right. Thanks for coming out and checking out this assembly of the C3 strike squads and support drones. And I'll see you in the next one.